Teeny Gamer here, and I haven't done a showcase video in a while, so I might as well do one. I mean, I've been lacking on the showcase videos recently because I've just been doing Spiral Abyss and playing other games instead. But, might as well push out this video because I have been meaning to do this for a long time. So now, here it is, the Amber Showcase. So, as always with the other showcases, I'm going to be showcasing my build first to let you know what my Amber is capable of, so you can have some foresight on what my Amber's damage will be, as well as her supportive capabilities as well. I'm also going to be fighting a bunch of bosses as well, and as well as doing a DPS check, meaning that I am going to be showcasing Amber in her best setting, aka making her do a lot of damage. So yeah. But sadly for Amber, this is probably going to be the shortest showcase I have ever done ever. Just because, well, I'll save my opinions for later, but you probably know the reason why this video is probably going to be short, but no spoilers yet. So anyways, without any further ado, it's time to showcase my Amber build. Alright, so here is my Amber. So, the reason why, again, I'll just repeat this for the new viewers out there. The reason why I'm showcasing my build first instead of last is because I have to showcase my stats as well as the other details so that you can get a foresight on what my Amber is capable of. So that, well, you can go in this video not blind. So, yeah. Well, anyways, enough about me rambling. It is time to go over her stats. So, here are the details of her stats. Her crit rate is okay at best. Her crit damage is also okay at best. This is literally just average. Energy recharge is pretty good. Pyro damage as well is pretty good as well. There's a reason why I am running a energy recharge build, you'll see soon. Favonius Warbow, this is basically her best free-to-play bow. If you are running a sub-DPS Amber, yeah, well, spoilers, that is why I am running this build. It's because this is probably one of her only good builds in the game. Yeah, the sub-DPS build. But, anyways, Favonius Warbow, it is her best free-to-play weapon. If you really want her best weapon in the game, it is Venti's main weapon, which is Elegy of the End. So, if you really want to invest in Amber, then Elegy of the End is your best weapon. Other than that, if you just want a basic Amber, then Favonius Warbow is basically her best weapon. So yeah, either Favonius Warbow or Elegy of the End. It is up to you to decide. As for artifacts, we have 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate. This is basically the best sub-DPS artifact set in the game. The reason why is because the more energy recharge you have, the higher your burst damage will be. And since Amber's burst damage is actually pretty good, that is the one thing I will give her, she is able to benefit from this artifact set really well. So, yeah. Well, if you really want to run another set, you could run 4-piece Instructor, but why would you do that? Just run 4-piece Emblem instead. Yeah, that's basically it. Just run 4-piece Emblem, make her a sub-DPS, and she'll work fine. As for constellations, I have her at C1. It is ideal for you to have her at C2, just because of her aim shot dealing a bunch of bonus damage with her Baron Bunny. But since I do not have that, she is probably going to perform less effectively than usual. But mainly, if you really want to play Amber, this is the constellation to go for. C2 is probably her best constellation, so yeah. And as for talent 666, I did not fully crown her. Why would I do that? But she is basically minimally built. But yeah, well, yeah, that is basically my build for Amber. It is time to go over the showcase now. Sadly, there is only going to be one team she's going to be featured on, so this is probably going to be a really short segment. but without any further ado, let's just go to Spiral Abyss. Alright, so here we are in Spiral Abyss. I am gonna be choosing this just because most of my characters' HP is really high, and to boost that means that we can get Hu Tao to do more damage and Zhongli's shield to last longer. So this is the only team I could come up with Amber. I mean, you could run other teams, but this is probably going to be her best team. Yeah, any other team besides this is probably going to fall off a bit. You could run double Hydro, you could run double Geo, but that makes her a main DPS. But she is mostly fit into the sub DPS role, so probably double Pyro is probably going to be her best team, which is why I put her in this team with Hu Tao and Zhongli. So let's just see how she performs. I don't expect much, but Amber could probably pull through. I mean, look at that, 2k on burst. I guess that's okay. Thankfully though, since this is a this is not the Hu Tao showcase. I mean, if this is a Amber showcase, I don't have to go for the 3-star clear on this. I can just take my time, just defeat the enemies here, and just showcase Amber, I guess, using her burst. Which is, by the way, gonna be the only thing she'll ever do. Just because of how I build her, because she's a sub DPS. We could just throw a Baron Bunny here to distract this guy, but I guess that's the only thing we could do. Alright, there we go. We can just destroy this, and then we have the 2 tough enemies here. Oh boy. Alright. I'll use Zhongli's burst so that we can freeze them in place. And then let's use Amber's burst. That is 1k. 1k per hit. If all the hits combine, then her burst probably does around 50k for me. But you could, of course, make it higher. You could probably make her do like 200k if you really invest in Amber. But since I do not invest in Amber, I cannot get her to do that much damage. But a really well invested Amber could get you high numbers. So I guess she's well worth the investment if you really love Amber, or if you're an Amber fan. If you're an Amber fan, just build her. I mean, I'm not really stopping you, but in my opinion, she's well, let's just save that for the end segment of this showcase. But there we go. As you can see, Amber performs, I guess, decently, but she doesn't really offer that much because of her competition from other Pyro characters, especially Pyro 4-stars, because there's a certain Pyro 4-star that is better than her, that is also a sub DPS, but I will save that until the end of the showcase. So yeah. Well, there's Amber in Spiral Abyss, so I guess we could just go to the bosses. Let's just make her fight a bunch of bosses. So I am gonna be using the same team I am gonna be using in the Spiral Abyss. So yeah, there is a little heads up for you. But we're gonna be fighting the wolf boss. And then we're gonna be fighting, I guess we could just fight Raiden. Yeah, let's just do those two. So, well, I will see you guys in the wolf boss. Alright, so here we are in the wolf boss. The reason why I chose this boss is because he is a cryo character. So we could just use Pyro and ultimately defeat him. But this is a Amber showcase. So I am going to be spamming Amber's burst a lot. Just because we have to fill the quota for Amber here. Let's just use the burst here for invincibility. And then let's see how much damage she does. She does, I guess okay damage. I mean, most of her shots didn't hit though from her burst, which is very sad. But we could just use her burst the next time he is vulnerable. which is gonna be after he finishes these 3 attacks right here. This is her second one? Yeah, this is his second one. And then the third one, he's just gonna land in the middle, and then we can just take advantage of that. So let's just put this down. Oh, never mind. He does more than 3 over there. There we go. Alright. We're gonna be putting Zhongli's shield up because he has the artifact set, the Millilith artifact set. So with this, we're gonna be doing as much damage as we can here. Let's use the burst. And she does, I guess, okay damage. Nothing really that special. But, yeah, Amber, is not really that good of a sub DPS. But, for those Amber fans out there who really like Amber, just, you could use her. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. But, there are better Pyro sub DPSs out there. I'm just gonna say that. But, like, then again, anyone can be good in this game if you give them the right artifact set. So, yeah. I just gave her, like, a okay-esque, artifact set. But, if you really do invest in her, then she probably might be good. But, there are other roles that, that she basically cannot fulfill because there are other Pyro characters out there. But I will say that until the end. I'm gonna keep repeating that because I need to keep you guys in suspense. But anyways, it is time to go to Raiden Shogun. So let's just go there, and then after we beat her, we can showcase her max damage. Alright, here we are in the Raiden Shogun domain. So I'm gonna be expecting the same thing here for our girl Amber. She's probably gonna be performing okay at best, but still, I have to showcase that she can actually do her job. So let's just get this started, shall we? We do have Mr. Zhongli here, who's going to help us shield a lot of attacks from Raiden. So yeah, so we don't take any damage. But mainly the double Pyro resonance is probably going to be carrying us from all the way, because Pyro resonance is just too good. 25% attack, that is just a big flat boost right there. Alright, I think Raiden's gonna be going to her second phase soon. Let's use this opportunity to use a burst. There we go. Let's just take this out so that we don't take any damage there. There we go. She is going to be going to her second phase right now. Yep. Alright, we're going to be having Zhongli active at all times, just because she drains our elemental burst. Yeah, she drains our elemental burst particles, which is what her boss design is. So we basically have to survive until the very end. That's basically it. I guess let's throw a Baron Bunny for the lulz. Okay, she's doing this attack. We avoided that. That is pretty good. I am going to be saving Amber's burst until the very end, where she actually does. Oh crap, we don't have let's use the elemental skill. Yeah, we took a bunch of damage there. That is really unfortunate. We're gonna be, yeah, let's just pull up the menu and eat some food. Yeah, we didn't Who tells E didn't cool down fast enough, so we had to use Xingqiu E, but I don't think double Xingqiu E could probably do it because it doesn't count. That ball doesn't count as an enemy, so that means that we couldn't get that to we couldn't get the sex sword to proc, meaning that we basically were dead at that point. There's no avoiding that. Alright, let's just dodge these. Alright, she is down for the count. Let's take advantage of this. Let's use Amber Burst. And then finish this off with Hu Tao. There we go! Even though we do have one member dead, we still kinda did it. I should have saved that Amber Burst for, that ball section. But since she drains our Elemental Burst, we couldn't do that. But, yeah. Well, Amber could certainly hold her own if you build her properly. But, yeah. Well, I am going to be showcasing her in her highest damage output. So now it is time to, showcase her in the best possible scenario. So, I am going to be, showing my team first before I, do the damage showcase. But, yeah, well, anyways, it is time to showcase Amber's max damage. Alright, so here we are in, the Cryo Regisvine, which is, gonna be our DPS showcase. So, this is the team I have right here, which is Amber, Zhongli, Kazuha, and Bennett. So, I am gonna be explaining what, these characters are right now. So Amber, of course, is just going to be our main DPS. We are going to be using her burst. That is basically going to be her max damage, is her burst, since we do have the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate on her. Zhongli is here for the shield, as well as the 4-piece Millelith set. Every time he uses his E, the party gets a 20% attack buff, which is why I am bringing Zhongli. Kazuha here is going to be using his elemental skill and burst with a 4-piece Viridescent set, so that Amber will do more damage, since his Q basically boosts the element inside by a lot. So Amber is just going to be doing more damage. And then we have Bennett here for the burst, which is going to be giving Amber more damage again, based on his base attack. And since he has the Skyward Blade, that is going to give her a ton of attack. And since Bennett is here, we get the Elemental Resonance of Fervent Flames, which is basically going to be increasing our attack by 25%. Yeah, this is probably going to be Amber's best damage showcase ever. So let's just get this started. We first have to weaken the Cryo Regisvine, so let's just do that real quick. We're going to be melting its core down. That was a really good dodge right there. Okay, let's use the burst. Let's use Kazuha's thing, elemental skill, Zhongli, and then Amber Burst. 2,000! That is actually okay. If you add up the numbers, she probably did around 50k, 60k, 70k, or at least 100k to 50k. But, that is Amber's, or at least my Amber's max damage. If she is well built and I give her like a ton of crit damage, as well as a ton of energy recharge, she probably could break 200k on her burst, which is actually pretty good. But that damage is, I guess, okay for a minimally built Amber. So yeah, well, there you go. There is Amber's max damage right there. It is time to go over the final overview and then give my final thoughts on Amber. So here is Amber, the Outrider of the Knights of Favonius. Yep, our girl Amber, or aka one of the poster girls of Genshin Impact. Of course, I am going to be going over her talents and constellations and then giving my final thoughts on Amber. So without any further ado, let's just go over all of her talents and constellations. So, her normal attack is called the Normal Attack Sharpshooter, which basically just does a 5 normal attack combo, which you will never be using, by the way, because Amber's charge shots are better than her normal attacks, so why would you even use her normal attacks? So, yeah. Well, with her charge attack, she is able to do Pyro damage like any other archer that has a charge attack. So, yeah, you're mainly going to be using charge attacks all the time. So, yeah, well, if you're going to be running a DPS Amber, just use charge attacks. Her elemental skill is called Explosive Puppet, which basically she throws a Baron Bunny. And that Baron Bunny scales off of Amber's max HP. It taunts the enemy, and when it explodes, it deals pyro damage. So, yeah, it's basically a attention holder. You could gain the enemy's attention on Baron Bunny, and then you can do your own thing. You could just set up, or you could deal more damage while it gets distracted by the Baron Bunny. You can basically do anything you want with their elemental skill. If you do hold the elemental skill down, you can basically change the direction on how to throw the Baron Bunny. Basically, you can throw it farther. The longer the button is held, the farther she can throw it. So, yeah, there is Explosive Puppet. As for her elemental burst, it is called Fiery Rain. It is basically a really, really simple elemental burst. She shoots in the air, a bunch of pyro arrows fly down and deal AoE pyro damage in a circle. So, yeah. It does a lot of damage, actually, because her damage scaling is actually pretty good. I mean, look at that. 708 on a level 6. Yeah, her damage scaling is actually pretty good on her burst. But, so, if you really do want to level up at least one talent to level 10 on Amber, this is probably going to be your best talent to level up, Fiery Rain. And here we have her passive talents. So her first passive talent is every arrow finds its target. So what it does is it increases the crit rate of Fiery Rain by 10% and it widens its AoE by 30%. So this basically just buffs her elemental burst to deal more damage. So the crits will trigger more often, and the AoE is bigger, meaning that more enemies can be hit with the AoE. So yeah, that is a pretty good passive talent. And her second passive talent is Precise Shot. Aim shots on the weak points increase attack by 15% for 10 seconds. So if you are aiming at weak points like the head, or for the Ruin Guard, its core, she will do 15% attack for 10 seconds. So yeah, you basically get more attack. Amber's going to be doing more damage on her charge attacks. That is pretty good. And then we have her overworld talent, which is Gliding Champion, which decreases your stamina consumption by 20% when you glide, which is actually pretty good because this is a really good talent for exploration purposes. So if you do have Amber, you could probably equip her on their team while you're exploring, getting chests. You can glide around and not consume your own stamina, so you can basically glide longer. The only problem is how Venti has the skill, so if you pulled Venti, you don't need her. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Well, that is Amber's talent. It is time to go over her constellations. And her constellations are not that much special either. You could probably tell that she is basically a vanilla character just because of the description of these skills. I mean, look at this. They're really, really, really small paragraphs of text. So I don't expect much here either. So, anyways, Constellation 1 is 1 arrow to rule them all. She fires 2 arrows per aim shot. The second arrow deals 20% of the first arrow's damage. So, there is a reason why I say use your aim shots and not your normal attacks. It's because of this talent. She basically fires 2 arrows instead of 1. And that second arrow is basically weaker than the first arrow. But, yeah, this is an okay constellation, but 20% of the first arrow's damage is pretty bad. You still do more damage, it's just that 20% is kind of low. Anyways, her second talent is Bunny Triggered, which is probably her best constellation. But Baron Bunny's new and improved. Hitting Baron Bunny's foot with a fully charged aim shot manually detonates it. Explosions via manual detonation deals 200% additional damage. So if you really want your Baron Bunny to deal more damage, if you want to be a Baron Bunny spammer, then this is the constellation for you. Because if you aim your fully charged shot at a Baron Bunny's foot, you basically deal 200% more damage, meaning that your Baron Bunnies will basically become nukes. So yeah, it's actually a pretty good constellation. As for her Constellation 3, it burns, which basically increases her burst by 3 levels. So yeah, I guess it's pretty basic. Her Constellation 4 is, it's not just any doll, which basically decreases the elemental skill by 20% and it adds 1 additional charge, meaning that you could throw 2 Baron Bunnies. Yeah. If you really want her to be a main DPS, this is probably her best constellation. Get her C4, get a bunch of Baron Bunnies ready, and then deal big damage because you have C2. So yeah, dealing 400% damage is actually pretty good. So yeah, don't sleep on this elemental skill. Even though her burst is kind of better, her elemental skill could be just as good if you play her properly. Her C5 is, it's Baron Bunny, which basically increases the Explosive Puppet, which is her elemental skill, by 3 levels. Pretty basic. And then her Constellation 6, which is basically Mega Whale constellation, is Wildfire. Fiery Rain increases all party members' movement speed by 50% and attack by 15% for 10 seconds. So you basically get more movement speed and more attack, which is pretty basic in general. Guess what? Jean has this skill. And guess what? She gets it on base kit. So, yeah, there's Amber for you. There's her constellations. So, yeah, that is basically Amber. Now, it is time to go over my final thoughts. So, what I think of Amber, she's kind of bad. Of course, I will say this and I will keep emphasizing, if you build her properly, if you give her the love and care she deserves, if you make her a main DPS and basically play as best as you can, yes, she is actually really good. But, if I am talking in a general standpoint, meaning that you use characters as how they are, you use characters without basically much investment, basically using these characters as how they're intended, then she sucks. She's terrible. There are a few reasons why, and I have basically 3 of them. First of all, her 6th constellation, Wildfire. As I said before, there is one other character who basically just does the same thing as this, but she has it in her base kit. Guess which character that is? It's Jean. It's Jean. Yeah, Jean increases attack. And she heals. She heals! She increases movement speed, and she increases attack. Her elemental skill basically gives her companions basically more normal movement speed and attack. Yeah, really, really weird that really weird that Amber needs a C6 for this. But since Jean is probably a pity breaker for everyone, if you did keep pulling on banners, you might be pity broken by Jean at some point and lose the 50-50. She is there for you. She increases attack for all party members by 15%. She regenerates HP for others. She also regenerates energy for herself, meaning that she can spam her burst. She is the bee's knees for everyone. And she's an animal character, meaning that you could run the 4-piece Viridescent set. So, yeah, she'll basically deal more damage for you, and she basically gets faster normal attacks thanks to her Gale Blade, and as well as the healing on top of her burst, meaning that Jean is pretty good. So, yeah, you don't really need Amber at that point. Second reason that Amber kind of sucks. Her Baron Bunny. So, her Baron Bunny does good damage, right? There are other characters that also have pretty good distraction, basically baits as well. First off, the main girl that actually uses it is Ganyu. Trail of Quillin. It basically does the same thing as her Baron Bunny, but basically she deals a lot of cryo damage. And if you get her C6, by the way, which is kind of impossible, you basically deal machine gun damage with your Frostbite arrows. So yeah, use her elemental skill, spam a bunch of cryo arrows, and deal big damage. Yeah, there's really nothing for me to say there. And then there are other characters that also put certain objects on the field. For example, Yao Yao, she's actually pretty good. She basically gives HP, she deals dendril damage, and her damage is based off her max HP. Same with her healing. She does really good damage. She works well on different teams. Yeah, Yao Yao is basically a better elemental skill user than Amber, that's for sure. And then the last and final reason why Amber kind of sucks is because there are better Pyro DPSs out there and better sub DPSs out there. And there is one big character that I am going to be going over, but I am not yet. I have to showcase these two Pyro 4-stars first. So Xingyan, people say that she's kind of bad, but she's actually pretty good if you build her properly. Her elemental skill basically does pyro damage for you. It's also a shield as well, meaning that you take no damage if you build her properly with max HP. Meaning that she is basically a Zhongli that can basically deal pyro damage. Yeah, she gets shields. Her elemental burst is also pretty good too if you actually build her properly and give her a bunch of physical damage bonuses. She will deal a ton of damage. She can also deal pyro damage as well, so basically she just does 2 types of damage. Yeah, she's actually pretty good. She also buffs her team as well, giving physical damage, and also her E's condition is also pretty good too, meaning that she's going to be performing really well as a Pyro sub DPS. Yeah, her elemental skill is actually pretty good. Talba, he is basically a better version of Xingyan. His elemental skill basically gives him a shield that does AoE pyro damage. His elemental burst is the same thing. He gives himself a shield to give AoE pyro damage. His passive talents basically increases his shield strength and increases his HP, meaning that you can tank more hits. And then last but not least, the true Pyro DPS, Zhongling. Zhongling is basically what I call the most broken Pyro DPS in the entire game. There's no others like her. She's just really broken. So first off, Guoba basically deals AoE Pyro damage and also gives her a pepper that basically disappears once Guoba disappears, which basically buffs her team's attack. Pyro Nadal is also pretty good too, which basically does a lot of pyro damage. As well, if you give her a 4-piece emblem of Severed Fate, she's basically going to be doing a lot of damage. Her weapon is also accessible too. The catch is probably her best weapon in the game. If not the catch, then the Engulfing Lightning. But the catch is pretty easy, you just fish to get it. And then as for constellations, she also has pretty good constellations. Pyro Res Decrease. AoE Pyro Damage. Yeah, really good. Decreases the Pyronadal Duration cooldown, which is also pretty good too. And also increases pyro damage bonus for all party members. Yeah. Zhongling is basically the better version of Amber. And she's a day 1 character. I'm just gonna see that. She's a day 1 character! It's been 3 years since Genshin came out, and she's still one of the best pyro DPSs in the game. Yeah, Zhongling is extremely good. Better than Amber, 100%. But, again, I am gonna say this. If you really love Amber, if you love her for her character, if you love her for her weird and wacky kit, if you love her for the meme, and just use her for the meme, then I won't stop you. She, could be pretty decent if you build her properly. If you basically, try to give her a spin. Amber is a character. I'm just gonna say that. But if you really love her, use her. But I am just gonna say there are better pyro DPSs out there, better pyro sub DPSs out there. So make sure you check your options before you use Amber. But that is basically it for this Amber showcase. This video is actually kind of long because I went on a tangent on Amber, but I'm just gonna say Zhongling is just 10 times better. Just use Zhongling instead. That's the memo for this showcase. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching this Amber showcase. if you liked the video, if you want to see more showcases, then be sure to like the video so that I would know that to make more showcase videos like this. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I upload Genshin videos at least once a week, so if you do like that sort of content, if you love the Genshin content, Spiral Abyss content, showcases, then be sure to subscribe. Also, turn on the notification bell to not miss out on a single upload once I upload. My upload schedule is kind of wonky, so turning on the notification bell would really be sure that you could watch the videos once they are uploaded. Also, comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts on Amber. Do you think I'm wrong saying that Amber sucks? Or do you think I'm right saying that Amber basically sucks? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys think of Amber, since she is a day one character. And as always, thank you guys for watching this Amber Showcase video, and I'll see you guys in the next Genshin video.